And welcome back to the Knife and Fork Show. I'm Amber Healy, an editor and reporter with Food Chemical News, and we are thrilled to have with us for another segment Susan Glenn from EAS Consulting. USDA, as we just talked about, has changed the way that they're approaching labeling on meat and poultry products, but that's not enough. Let's throw a monkey wrench into the whole thing and have FDA decide after 20 years to change the nutrition facts label. Right. What would you say would be the biggest difference between the current label as it stands, as it has been since, well, for 20 years, and the proposed changes that FDA released in February?
Well, the format's going to be different, but we'll get into that a little bit later. The biggest difference is the serving size is going to be portrayed differently. So instead of, when it says amount per serving, it'll say 2/3 cup or whatever the serving size is. So it's going to be a little different.
Okay.
It's going to be bolder, bigger. In fact, that's basically the first thing you see when you look at the nutrition facts panel, the proposed one. Some of the nutrients are changing. Vitamin A and vitamin C are being taken out because they are considered not significant right now. Everybody seems to be doing okay with those vitamins. It's not a health significance. But they are going to add potassium and one other.
All right.
Which are more of health significance. So that's a big change right there.
Sure.
And they are also adding added sugars.
Now that seems like it could be a big deal.
Yes.
They're calling it out. There's going to be two listings, one for sugar, one for added sugar, or just added sugar? There
will be two listings. There will be sugars, and then intended under sugars will be added sugars.
Okay. And why do you think FDA decided that this was something, and of course this is proposed.
Right.
This is not something that's set in stone.
Right.
We're probably looking way down the road for this to be finalized. But why do you think they made the decision to call out added sugars?
Well, there has been more talk about added sugars in American diets, and there has been a lot of buzz lately about added sugars and how it can cause problems.
What kind of problems?
That you might have more of a risk of certain diseases.
Oh, so they're not calling out added sugars to encourage us to make sure that we have more added sugar in our life?
No, they want us to have less.
Aha,
Yes.
Okay. But from what I understand, they're not proposing a daily value of added sugar.
No, they have not.
Do you think that's significant that they're drawing all this attention to it? And is it a matter of, we want to make you aware of what you're eating, even if you're not really paying attention?
With all the buzz, I think they're just following along the lines of what different organizations have been talking about. And I think it's been going on for a while. Maybe not in the public, but behind the scenes.
And these are not, run-of-the-mill organizations. We're talking about big deal.
No, IOM and other organizations like that have been talking about that.
But we're probably eating way more added sugar than we realize.
Right.
And I'm guessing the hope is that we realize this and maybe we cut back a little.
Right. It's just to inform the public how much added sugar is in that product. And then it is going to be up to the individual person to decide how they are going to handle that. The Nutrition Facts panel is not there to tell you what to do.
It's not.
It's there to tell you. It's there to inform you of what's in the product so that you can make healthy choices.
Michelle Obama, the First Lady, when she was announcing this change, she actually said what they're hoping to do with the modified Nutrition Facts panel, when it's finalized and when it's out there, is to make it so that a consumer can tell at a glance, what they're eating, what they're getting into with whatever product it is. I guess we'll have to wait and see if it works out.
That's correct. There will have to be some public education, just like there was for the past nutrition panel. It is similar, but there are some differences and there are some changes, as I said. So they're going to have to inform people of that.
But now some things are staying the same. They're maintaining the 0.5 gram for trans fat. As if it's anything more than that, you have to call it out. You have to say it. If it's less than that, you can say no trans fat. But again, there's no daily value. Any idea why they decided to do that? I mean, trans fat's a whole other topic for FDA right now. They're thinking of removing the safety status of it. But why do you think they wanted to leave that alone?
It may be because they are going to be getting rid of trans fat in food. I mean, there's natural trans fat.
Right.
But if, I don't know if this is the way they'll go or not, but if they're going to remove it from food, make it illegal to put in there, then maybe they need to take the trans fat off the label too, because it will always be zero.
I guess the nice thing about a proposed change is that it leaves maybe a little wiggle room for if this regulatory action takes place before this is finalized, we can just deal with it later.
Right, and also gives companies and individuals a chance to make comments.
Sure.
So that FDA knows what people are thinking.
And I'm blanking right now on how long the comment period goes, but
it's 90 days, but I anticipate it being extended probably another 60 days or something.
Okay, so there's time,
yes.
and people should comment.
Yes, just go onto
Early
the
and
FDA
often.
website, and there is a link. There's a picture of the new nutrition facts. Click on that, and there's information on how to comment.
Oh, that's great. So making it easy for people who want to.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful. Speaking of making it easy for people, FDA at this point has not proposed anything about a front of pack nutrition panel or a nutrition labeling scheme where you would have little call out tabs for calories per serving, fat, sodium, what have you. But they said that they might consider that in the future. At the same time that FDA released a proposal, the Grocery Manufacturers Association and the Food Marketing Institute, which have their own version of this called Facts Up Front, started a public education campaign.
Right.
Do you think that FDA will take action on front of pack systems, maybe propose their own at some point in the future? What do you think they'll be looking for?
I don't know what their plans are for the future, but I think they are watching this intently to see how it is all going to pan out. If something comes up and it throws up a red flag for them, they will take action. I think they want to make sure that whatever nutrients are displayed are balanced, so you don't have all the good for you nutrients displayed with none of the bad nutrients. It should be balanced.
And FDA has said that they're going to monitor these front of pack systems. Any idea what they'll be looking for? Just again, the balance of not just hey, we're wonderful, but
I think they're just going to see how the public responds to it, and again, how the manufacturers are going to handle this.
Speaking of manufacturers, this is not going to be cheap for them to have to go through and redo the labeling for all of their products. How many products are we talking about here?
I heard a number yesterday that it was approximately 700,000 labels for FDA. That's a lot of labels.
That's a lot of food. And I would assume that you'll have a template to use, but you may have to redo your math if you're changing your serving size, or if the way that the label's format is changing. I think I saw a price tag on this, and it's not in the millions, it's in the billions.
Yes, it is a lot.
That's intimidating.
It is a lot, but the thing is, we still have things in place that we didn't have the last time around. We've got programs that will figure this information out for you instead of having to do it from scratch. It's already there. So this will make the transition a lot easier than last time.
That's good, because I'm sure, it's going to take a while regardless.
Yes.
Between the comment period and then finalizing, and then there'll probably be an implementation window.
Yes.
Whew, a lot of work coming your way.
Yes, and then there's a possibility that our USDA will tag along.
That would make sense, because their products are not covered by FDA labeling.
That is correct.
Specifically.
So they could decide to work together again like they did the last time and write up their version of what they want to do.
Okay. More waiting and seeing.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, Susan, thank you so much for being our guest here today. We've really appreciated you giving us so much of your time, talking about these very interesting and very complicated changes that are coming down the way. And we thank you for joining us on the Knife and Fork Show, and we will see you soon.